Hello friends, don't forget to subscribe to the channel TKD Health Tips if you haven't done so. As a part of Salesforce Einstein Copilot generative AI video series, where today we are going to see how we are going to leverage the we'll create custom action using Flow. So in this video, let's try to create a custom action using Flow so that if in our org we have flows already written, then and if it meets customer action requirement, then it can be used as a custom action. So let's say that in this org agent has to create task or activity record on account or on different objects, and to do that they have to manually create the task. And since they work on multiple accounts, so this becomes a lot of click for them. How good it will be if their AI assistant can do this for them. So let's create a custom action. So let's see how to create a custom action using Flow. So not every type of flow can be used as a custom action. Only the flows which are of type auto launch, or we can also say invocable kind of flows, can be used as a custom action. So let's click on new flow. While creating the flow, this should be type of auto launch flow. No trigger, or if you can see the invocable flow only if a flow is of type auto launch, then only it can be used as a custom action. For example, we want to use our generative AI assistant to create task on behalf of their agent. So we'll go on auto launch flow. You will see that type of will need few input fields. For example, relative ID. The related to ID will contain the ID of the record against which the task should be created. We need the subject so that task has a subject value, and this task ID is actually an output field, which means that whenever whatever task that got created, that is what returned back from this auto launch flow. And it's a very simple one. We are just creating a task record. So here we are creating a task record with activity date, and current date owner will be the current logged in user. We are expecting prompt is given by the agent himself, and the subject will be whatever has sent, and the related ID will become the what ID. So this will create a task record, and whatever the task record is created, it will be stored in this task ID, and that is what we are returning as an output. If you see task ID, it is available in input. That means it will be shown on the custom action as output field. So now we have our flow, and it is already active. Make sure flow is active before using it as a custom action. So let's go here. Again, our step is to create an action. So we have to go to Einstein Copilot action, and let's click on the new Copilot action. This time we are ahead of Apex, so we will use flow and choose the reference section. Here is to create a task flow. So let's click on next, and we should see the same exact screen. Here it is an Apex action or a flow action. You will see the very similar screen. So we will give the instruction to the Copilot. So let's give the instruction. We can see this action creates a task record. When user asks Copilot to create a task with the subject, and again as a best practice we should give some examples. So for we can say, for example, user can say create a task for account XYZ with subject as follow-up. So maybe if the Copilot gets such kind of prompt, then it will be very easy for the Einstein Copilot to understand that this action is going to solve the exact same requirement. Now again we have the input field and we have the output field. Here also we have to give instruction. So for the related ID, we can say that get the ID from from the record and name that that the user has mentioned, against which the task should be against which the task uh, should be created, right? And it should be a required field. And subject, for subject we can say that subject uh, value will be given by user. Here we should specify what if the subject is not given by the user. On a task level, subject is mandatory field. So we can say that if no value is given, then use the default value as a log or call. Again, it will be a required field. For output, we can say that task record to be shown on UI, isn't it? So with this much information, I think our Einstein custom action will work. Let's click on the finish button. I think I missed an important step that show in conversation should be checked here, and then click on finish button this time, and we have created our task flow. Then as next step is to assign it to our Einstein Copilot. Let's open our Einstein Copilot, and here it is already deactivated. So let's go here and assign the action. Now the action is assigned. Let's activate it. Let's go on here. Let's just refresh one time. Let's open our Einstein Copilot and let's give a prompt. Create a task for the account S4 with subject as need discussion. Great, seems like the task is created. So if we go to this account S4, here there is a task got created. Let's open that. See, this is created as today's due date and the subject is need discussion. So which means that our custom action has executed and it has created this task. So with this now the agent does not have to go to this account, create a task from here. They can simply use their generative AI assistant to do that. So now we have understand that that Apex as well as the flow. So by now we are comfortable with that. So both can be used to create powerful actions which can be utilized by Einstein Copilot to perform action on behalf of a sales representative. So here is the one thing that we have to do note is that we are trying to reduce the manual work as much as possible, which means that we might be having custom code written already in the form of Apex or flows. But to execute or to run that code, some action is required from the user. For example, a status field update will execute Apex trigger or flow trigger and may run some custom logic. But here with Einstein Copilot, we should be able to run the same logic with just a conversation with our generative AI assistant. So hopefully this does help user save some manual effort. In this video, let's try to create another custom action using flow. Let's say that the use case here is org agent works on soft drink and soft drink orders. Soft drink that is stored in the inventory may get expired in that case. So the agent should also update in CRM that a particular soft drink is expired. And if there are any open orders for that soft drink, then that should be cancelled since the soft drink order is all currently expired. Now for this, usually agents have to manually update the status of soft drink as expired, and from the backend trigger all the orders which are open can be made cancel. Now let's use the same logic to create an action which does this all backend work. And only one thing agent have to do is just ask the Copilot to update the status of a soft drink as expired. In this org, you'll see that we have soft drink records. So let's open the soft drink record, and it has a status as safe to use or whether it is expired. Currently the soft drink is in a status called safe, and it has safe soft drink orders placed already. This one of the order and it is in status open. So similarly, we have two other offers which are on a status called open. Now let's look at the flow that we'll be using to perform this operation. This is the flow. This is the auto launch flow. Now, flow which are of type auto launch can be used as custom action. And I have created an auto launch flow. Maybe some of the best practices with respect to flows are missing, but this is just an example. So expectation from this flow is that whenever agent asks our generative AI assistant to expire soft drink, then this flow should get that soft drink ID and it should change the status to expired. And after that, it should also find if there are any soft drink order created for that particular soft drink, which is currently in a open status. And then it should make the status of that soft drink order is cancelled. So now the only input that it requires is the soft drink ID. And it is why you see that I have a variable called soft drink ID for input, which means that the Copilot is calling this flow. Copilot itself will pass the soft drink ID here, and I'm making the soft drink ID available for output so that it can be shown on the UI. Once it retrieves the soft drink ID, it performs a simple update operation here, finding a soft drink record and changing the status to expired. After that, it will also find all the soft drink orders and change the status. So here it is, finding all the soft orders for whose status is currently open, then changing the status to cancel. So this is a very simple flow that we have created just like our invocable methods, where we were giving the description at the method level and also the wrapper classes which we were using as an input. We were giving description and we saw the benefit of doing that is whatever the description that we give here, it becomes instruction here. So similarly, while creating flows, we have to ensure that we are giving the proper description. For example, in this flow, I have given the description here that this flow is used to update the status of a soft drink record to expired. If a user marks the status of soft drink ABC as expired, then our Einstein Copilot helps to understand that this particular flow can help him solve the problem. Whatever the description that you have been given, although the description is not a mandatory field, at a flow level, it is always a good practice to give the description. And if you start giving description, it will definitely help you write custom action because then it will save your time of giving the instruction at the Einstein Copilot action level. So for the input the description that software record which needs status needs to be updated as expired, right? So let's just save it, and I think our flow is already active. So the next step is since our action is ready to be used, let's go ahead and create a pilot action, Einstein Copilot action. Again, to create the Copilot action, we have to go to Copilot actions. New Copilot action, and this time again it's a flow. So we have to select reference action type as flow. Now we should see the update soft drink flow, which is a flow is available here because it is a available as a Copilot action. So let's click on next. Now you'll see the benefits of giving description to flow as well as the input field. Whatever the description we given to the flow became the instruction to our Copilot. Although the description was not a mandatory field there, but anyways it is a mandatory field here. So anyways we have to give the instruction. We are trying to say that this flow is used to update the status of soft drink as expired, and then I have an input. Whatever description I gave for input field of the flow became the instruction here. Also, and here we can help our Einstein Copilot saying that we get the soft drink ID based on the soft drink name that the user has given. So what actually we are trying to do here is we are saying that we need to pass the ID, but the ID is not directly given by the user. We are instructing our Einstein Copilot that the user might have given you the software name ID. So from that you get the ID. So how will the Copilot will do? It will utilize one of the standard action called get record by name. So it will use that action, get the ID, and then pass to this Copilot action. Similarly, we have output field. Since we had used the same soft drink ID field as input as well as output, so it is showing me the same description here. I can change it. I can say that the soft drink ID uh, to be shown on UI, isn't it? Then we make this show in conversation as and it's a required input field. So I think our action looks good. Click on finish and it should create a Copilot action. And you see that action is here. And the next step is to assign this action to our Copilot. Let's go here and open our Einstein Copilot. We are opening the prompt builder now. So Copilot is already deactivated, so we can directly assign this action. So the action is available, and now we can activate this Copilot. Let's go here and just refresh this once. Now as an agent, I can use my assistant. I can say that this to say this one only. Update the status of soft drink. Name this to expired, right? So with this prompt, it should be able to find the correct Einstein action. Right, it looks like it actually identified our custom action that we just created and it used to perform the task. So let's see that this is the soft drink record, and we can see that the status has set to expire, and we see if we see the related these are the soft drink orders. Let's see the status has changed to cancelled, and for the second one also the status has changed to cancelled, and for the third one it has changed to cancelled because the original status was open. So now we can see that the power of our custom actions. We know that for a specific org, what are the different activities that our agents will be performing. And now based on that, we can create custom actions, or maybe we already have those actions written in the form of like Apex or Flow. So we just have to open them as a Copilot action, and then Copilot can do the rest of the